Have you ever felt that strange chill run down your spine when looking at a photo of an abandoned place? That unexplainable discomfort, as if something about it just isn't right. Some places don't just look scary, they are. Places where time seems frozen, silence feels heavy, and every corner holds a story that many would rather leave untold. But what if these places weren't just the stuff of nightmares? What if they were completely real? Get ready to embark on a journey through 10 of the most terrifying places on Earth. With each stop, the tension builds. You'll visit locations where fear has taken shape, and where the past has left deep, permanent scars. But be warned, the number one on this list is so overwhelming that many people leave in total silence, unable to put their experience into words. Stay with us until the end, because the final place will shake you in a way few things ever could. Island of the Dolls. Deep in the canals of Xochimilco, just outside Mexico City, there's a small island that feels like it was pulled straight from a nightmare. Known as La Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of the Dolls, this place is covered with hundreds of old dolls hanging from trees, walls, and poles. Some are missing eyes, others are headless. All are worn down by time and weather. The island's eerie reputation began in the 1950s when a man named Don Julian Santana chose to live there in isolation. According to local stories, not long after arriving, he found the body of a young girl who had drowned in the canal. Floating nearby was a doll. Haunted by the experience and driven by guilt or superstition, he began collecting discarded dolls and hanging them throughout the island as a way to appease her spirit. Today, the island holds over 400 dolls, many of them in fragments. Their lifeless eyes seem to follow visitors. The huts are falling apart. The jungle vegetation creeps into every structure, and the constant humidity adds to the feeling of decay. The air smells of mildew and wet soil. Trees creak with the wind, giving the impression that something is always moving. You can only get there by boat, gliding through the calm canals of Xochimilco. But that peaceful ride doesn't prepare anyone for what's waiting at the destination. Some visitors claim to hear whispers among the trees. Others say the dolls move on their own. There's no proof, but the stories keep coming. Despite its creepy reputation, the island has become a dark tourist attraction. Documentaries, YouTube videos, and even horror films have featured it. And here's the chilling twist. Don Julian was found dead in 2001, in the exact same spot where he claimed to have found the girl. If that already gave you chills, brace yourself, because this is just the beginning. Sedlec Ossuary, the Bone Church. In the town of Kutna Hora in the Czech Republic, there's a small Gothic chapel that looks ordinary until you step inside. This is Sedlec Ossuary, better known as the Bone Church, and it's decorated with the remains of over 40,000 human skeletons. The story begins in the 13th century, when an abbot brought back soil from Golgotha, the hill where Jesus was believed to have been crucified, and scattered it in the cemetery. This made the site sacred ground, attracting burials from across the region. After the Black Plague and the Hussite Wars, the cemetery became overcrowded. In the 19th century, a local woodcarver was given the task of organizing the bones. Instead of burying them, he turned them into art. Chandeliers, altars, columns, even a coat of arms, all made from skulls, femurs, and ribs. The atmosphere inside is cold and silent. The smell of old stone and candle wax lingers in the air. Narrow hallways echo with footsteps. Every inch is a haunting reminder of lives once lived and now displayed for eternity. There aren't many ghost stories here. What makes this place terrifying is how real it is. You're not looking at props. You're surrounded by thousands of actual human remains, turned into interior decoration. The Bone Church has become a cultural icon, featured in documentaries, horror games, and books, and travel shows. And here's the wildest part. It still functions as a church to this day. But if seeing bones is disturbing, imagine walking beneath an entire city, where the dead stretch for miles. The Paris Catacombs. Beneath the streets of Paris lies a vast, hidden world, one of the largest underground ossuaries on Earth. The Paris Catacombs are a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers filled with the skeletal remains of over 6 million people. In the 18th century, Paris's cemeteries were overflowing. Disease outbreaks and public outrage forced officials to act, so they moved the remains into old stone quarries beneath the city. The bones were stacked with eerie precision, skulls and leg bones forming endless walls of the dead. The official entrance is in Montparnasse, but the tunnel network stretches over 180 miles underground. Only a tiny portion is open to the public. The rest is off-limits, though urban explorers still sneak in. Inside, the air is damp and cold. The scent is a mix of wet stone and thyme. Light is minimal and every sound echoes. It feels like the tunnels are watching. Though the structure is stable in some parts, others are crumbling. Some people have gotten lost and never made it out. One infamous video shows a man wandering deeper and deeper into the darkness, panicking as he realizes he's lost. His footage was found. He never was. The catacombs have inspired countless horror movies and legends, and shockingly, underground parties are still thrown there illegally, blurring the line between curiosity and madness. If the darkness here makes your skin crawl, wait until you see the place that's been burning for over 5 decades. Darvaza Crater, the door to hell. In the heart of the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan lies a burning pit that looks like it leads straight to the underworld. It's called the Darvaza Crater, or more famously, the door to hell, and it has been on fire since 1971. It started when Soviet geologists were drilling for gas. The ground collapsed, revealing a massive underground pocket of natural gas. Fearing a dangerous gas leak, scientists set it on fire, hoping the flames would burn off the remaining gas, thinking it would burn out in a few days. That was over 50 years ago. The fire never stopped. The crater is about 230 feet wide and 100 feet deep, a massive glowing furnace carved into the earth. The flames roar constantly, and the orange glow can be seen from miles away. Getting there is no easy task. The crater is in a remote desert with no official tourism infrastructure. The heat is suffocating, the smell of sulfur is thick, and the sound of the flames creates a low growling hum that feels alive. At night, the scene becomes surreal. The darkness of the desert is pierced by a fiery glow. There are no safety barriers, just you, the edge, and the heat. No ancient myths surround it, which makes it feel even stranger. This is a modern-day nightmare born from a human mistake and nature's raw power. Travelers report feeling restless after visiting. Some experience insomnia or vivid dreams. And, although the government has discussed sealing the crater, no safe method has been found yet. If a burning pit in the desert already feels disturbing, imagine a forest where silence is so complete, it's almost alive. Aokigahara Forest. At the base of Mount Fuji in Japan lies a forest that's as beautiful as it is disturbing. Its name is Aokigahara, but many call it the Sea of Trees or the Forest of Silence. Despite its lush scenery, Aokigahara has become infamous as one of the most unsettling places in the country. The forest was formed centuries ago over hardened lava. Its dense trees and thick undergrowth muffle sound completely. Once inside, there's no wind, no animal noises, just your own footsteps. The silence is total. Over the decades, this eerie quiet has drawn individuals in deep emotional distress. The Japanese government no longer releases statistics, but it's widely known that many lives have ended there. Signs posted throughout the forest encourage people to seek help and not face their struggles alone. Spanning over 13 square miles, Aokigahara is dangerously easy to get lost in. Compasses and GPS devices often malfunction due to the magnetic soil. Trails split off frequently, and some visitors tie ribbons to trees to mark their path, though not all those ribbons lead back out. The smell of damp earth is ever present. On cloudy days, a fog settles in, creating an almost dreamlike or nightmarish atmosphere. Scattered throughout the woods, you might find abandoned items, shoes, backpacks, photographs, each one a silent reminder that someone was here. And maybe never left. There are also persistent reports of whispering voices, flickering shadows, and the feeling of being watched. None of this is confirmed, but the weight of the forest is undeniable. Even volunteers who patrol the area say they avoid going too deep. Aokigahara has been featured in books, movies, and documentaries, but nothing compares to walking its paths yourself, feeling that alive silence close in from all directions. If this video has already given you that cold chill out of nowhere, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. There are still 5 more places ahead, and the last one will change the way you see human history. And if this forest already feels overwhelming, imagine now an entire city frozen in time, untouched since the moment disaster struck. Pripyat and the Chernobyl exclusion zone. In northern Ukraine, a city sits in complete stillness, abandoned, crumbling, and haunted by invisible danger. This is Pripyat, built in 1970 as a model Soviet town for the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear plant. Everything changed in April 1986, when one of the reactors of the plant exploded. A toxic cloud spread across Europe. Less than 48 hours later, over 40,000 people were evacuated, leaving everything behind. What they left has remained almost untouched. In apartments, toys are still on beds, clothes hang in closets, school books lie open on desks. A Ferris wheel in the amusement park still stands, rusted and silent, having never been used. The exclusion zone spans a 30-kilometer radius around the plant. While some parts are now open for guided tours, dangers still exist. From collapsing buildings to radiation hotspots and wild animals. The air smells of rust and damp wood. In some areas, the silence is complete. In others, your footsteps echo like you're walking through a dream or a nightmare. Visitors often report feeling watched, hearing strange sounds, or being overwhelmed with emotion. While some of that may be psychological, the sense of unsettling presence is very real. Pripyat and Chernobyl have inspired countless films, shows, and games, but nothing compares to standing there, in a city where life stopped in an instant. And as we move from radioactive silence to something more primal, prepare to meet a place where you are no longer the top predator. Snake Island, Queimada Grande Island. Just off the coast of Sao Paulo, Brazil, there's a place so dangerous that the public is completely banned from stepping foot on it. This is Queimada Grande Island, better known as Snake Island, home to one of the highest concentrations of venomous snakes on the planet. At just 106 acres, the island is crawling with up to 5 snakes per square meter, according to some estimates. The most feared is the golden lancehead viper, a species found nowhere else on Earth, and one of the most venomous in the Americas. Legends surround the island. For years, a lighthouse operated there. Local stories claim the last family who lived there was found lifeless, attacked by snakes that entered through the windows. Since then, the Brazilian Navy has banned all visits, except for a few authorized scientific missions. The terrain is rough, the vegetation is thick, and the climate is humid. Perfect conditions for reptiles. There are no trails, no shelters, and no second chances. Every step could be fatal. From a distance, the island looks like paradise, but as you approach, you realize it's something else entirely. The air smells of salt and wet greenery, the sounds are just wind and forest, and the realization hits, you do not belong here. Few people have ever explored the island in full. Those who have say the fear is instant, not because of ghosts or legends, but because the danger is very, very real. But now, let's step into a different kind of horror. A place where the earth itself holds the weight of a nation's pain. Choeung, the killing fields. Just outside Phnom Penh, Cambodia, sits a peaceful-looking grassy field with a large tree and a tall glass memorial at its center. But this place is anything but peaceful. This is Choeung, the most infamous of Cambodia's killing fields. Between 1975 and 1979, Cambodia was under the brutal rule of the Khmer Rouge, led by Pol Pot. In their attempt to create a rural utopia, they executed anyone seen as a threat: doctors, intellectuals, even children. Thousands of prisoners from Tuol Sleng, our next location, were brought here to be executed. It's estimated that over 17,000 people were killed at this site alone. And the ground still shows it. Even today, after heavy rains, fragments of bones, teeth, and clothing rise to the surface. At the center stands a Buddhist stupa, filled with over 8,000 human skulls, arranged by age and gender, many with visible signs of trauma. The paths are narrow. The signs explain what each area once was. A chilling tree known as the killing tree was used to end the lives of children. The atmosphere is heavy. The silence here isn't just out of respect, it's something you feel. The air is strangely still. The sun seems dimmer. Your footsteps sound louder than they should. Visitors often break down emotionally. Some feel nausea, others go silent. Because the horror is already unbearable without them. Each year, Buddhist monks gather at Choeung to chant prayers for the victims. It is a sacred site of mourning, and a warning about what can happen when power is left unchecked. But if this is where the pain ended, our next location shows you where it began. Tuol Sleng, the Genocide Museum. In the middle of bustling Phnom Penh stands a former high school, now one of the most disturbing museums in the world. This is Tuol Sleng, also known as S21. During the Khmer Rouge regime, it was transformed into a secret prison, interrogation center, and torture site. What was once a school became a place of suffering. It's believed that over 20,000 people passed through here. Most never left. The buildings are divided into blocks, with cramped cells, makeshift walls, and long, empty corridors. Windows are covered in barbed wire. The silence hangs in every corner. On the walls you can still see scratch marks and blood stains. The rooms remain almost untouched. Iron beds, rusted shackles, and wooden torture frames still in place. The smell is faint. Old stone, moisture, and decay. The sunlight filters through slowly, giving everything a muted, grayish tone. Even whispers seem to echo. But the most devastating part? The faces. Every prisoner was photographed upon arrival. Hundreds of these photos now line the museum walls. Children, elderly, women, men, each face tells a story that ends in silence. Visitors often walk out in shock. Some can't finish the tour. Others weep. It's not horror for entertainment. It's horror made real. A few survivors still visit from time to time, sharing stories, bearing witness. And to this day, S21 is used as evidence in international trials against those responsible. The building stands as proof, and as a reminder. Now, after all this, we reach the final place, a site where the scale of suffering is almost impossible to grasp. Auschwitz-Birkenau. In southern Poland, near the town of Auschwitz, lies the most powerful symbol of 20th century horror, Auschwitz-Birkenau. A place that transcends geography and has become a global reminder of what hatred can do. During World War II, this was the largest Nazi concentration and extermination camp. Over 1 million people died here, most of them Jews, but also Roma, political prisoners, and countless others. The site is divided into two main areas: Auschwitz I, the administrative camp, and Birkenau, the massive extermination complex. The infamous gate with the phrase "Arbeit macht frei," work sets you free, greets visitors. But nothing can prepare them for what lies beyond. The barracks still stand, the train tracks remain, the gas chambers and crematoriums are preserved. Exhibits display suitcases, shoes, even human hair, taken from victims. Even in summer, the air is cold. The silence is overwhelming. Many visitors speak of an unbearable weight, of walking through a place built for death. People often leave without speaking. Others feel physically ill, not because of myths or ghosts, but because every part of this place is real. Auschwitz receives more than 2 million visitors each year. It is not a tourist site. It is a grave, a lesson, a warning, and every guided tour ends with the same words in many languages: never again. From the bizarre to the historic, from surreal landscapes to human-made horrors, these 10 terrifying places show that fear wears many faces. Some locations chill us with their silence. Others confront us with the weight of our own history, but none of them leave us unchanged. These are not just ruins and walls. They are scars. Scars etched into our collective memory, reminders of what was and what must never be again. Which of these places would you dare to visit in person? Do you think sites like Auschwitz should stay open to preserve memory and truth? Are there other terrifying places that you think deserve to be on this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading them all. And if this video kept you hooked until the end, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss a journey like this. We've got new videos every week, and we're only scratching the surface of the world's most unsettling places. See you in the next one.